It is loud and it is wet here, Coach, as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Wait, 80! Here we go, D.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here we go.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
Here we go. 54 miles. Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world.
On first down, it's Carson. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Garoppolo finding his tight end, Kittle. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Here we go.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
Check it out.
This is Carson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
The give to Taylor. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Kill. Hey. We got cover up.
They run with Taylor. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
What? 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for 3rd down.
Switch. Watch the shit. Hey.
To throw is Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Mike 54. Quit talking about it and bring it.
They'll run on first down. Taylor. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's go, baby. 56. Check 56. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man, it's Allen. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? On first down, it's Taylor. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Mike 56. Mike 56.
All day, dog.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Wilson, he's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And he's taken down inside the 30. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 28.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Alert, alert, alert. 14, front it.
They'll run on first down. It's Taylor. And he's got room. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Good job right there. Good job right there. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Mike 54. Mike 54. Check, check. Go. Say. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go, D. Hey, watch that.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Garoppolo. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by Rasheem Green. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles are usually more...
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Green 80! Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Alert. All day, defense. All day. Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Watch out.
Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout here, as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
Squeeze, double. 56 to Mike. 56 is Luke. Watch the run.
They go play action now. Wilson. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Philip Dorsett, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, man. Watch. Alert. 54. Mike 54. 54. Check. Watch.
Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Perry comes flying in for the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
I'm scared. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Wilson. Forced out to his left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Desmond Trufant with a sack. The corner blitz hits home.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
We got this.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And across the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Chris Carson with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Gold with the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Mike 5-4. Good job right there. Good job right there. Alert, alert.
Alert, 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 alert.
Fresno. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. It's caught inside the 25. That's good for 28 yards. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Looking downfield for Joe. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Sack City, baby.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
I got it. Mike 56, Mike.
Get him. Mike 56.
Here's Wilson. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
56.
I'll go special. I'll go special.
56. Check 56. Hey.
On first down, it's Taylor. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Right there. 56. I got you, boy.
On second and 11 now. Wilson, this one into the hands of Metcalf. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 46. They run the counter. Taylor. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
At the 49ers, 40-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Watch the pass. Bang out.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
56 the Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Not here.
Now Wilson. Oh, good move. He finds Taylor, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Mike, fight forward. All you get is a headache.
Shift. Watch the shift.
36 power. You got tight right there.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Here we go.
Check. Walk 54. It's our time.
On 3rd down, Carson. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4. Watch the pass, watch the pass. Here we go, here we go.
19.
Safety creep, showing it.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Taylor. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
Move 15. 56. I got one.
Check.
Mike's 56. Watch the pass.
Here's Taylor. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Come get some. He don't want it. No.
18.
Check 24. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
On 3rd down, Taylor. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They run for it with Carson, and nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Kyle Shanahan, an offensive mind, but his guys stopped up short. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll run with Taylor. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 47-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Check 26, check 26.
Got it.
Alert 3. Back.
Play action. It's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Taylor. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Get wide. Kill.
They go to the ground again with Taylor, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple down inside the 35 to the 34. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Eric Armstead able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and this score will stay right where it is. Now, things just got interesting. They try for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that will be incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Okay, just like that.
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawks touchdown. The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now Garoppolo to try again after the pick 6. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw deep down. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go.
Check 56. Hey, watch the slant.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Able to get there and pick it. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Defensively, there's still 3 timeouts. Do you even need to use them at this point?
I think a lot of coaches do it anyway, and it seems like cosmetics to us.
Does it just send a message you're not quitting?
Send a message that you're not quitting. Let your team know you're going to battle all the way, and you're always hoping for that ultimate miracle that something will happen, you'll pick up the ball and score, and you'll have a chance one more time and maybe on an onside kick, but not likely.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Seahawks, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.